This is Robin Fairbanks, former manager of Fox and the Law. You're listening to Word on the Street.
Hey, what's up? It's Zim. We're back with another version of Word on the Street. This is version 148 of the podcast, and this time we have Nathan and Hunter of the band Woodshed. But before we get to that, as I like to do every week, is I like to do an intro to the podcast. And this time, so I've been talking about tips. I've been talking about tips on what you need to do to enhance your musical career, to take it to the next place, next level. Let's catch us up, shall we? Since we're still kind of early on this, I'll still catch us up. I wonder how long this catch-up list will get to. Ketchup and mustard. It'll be, first thing I talked about was, what was the first thing I talked about? It was, having an awesome recording. First thing, and it's the only thing that's in order of importance. The first and most important and only thing that has an order of importance is your audio. Because after all, it is the music industry, it is the record industry, it is the recording industry. Your recording has to be smoking badass. Anyways, go back a bunch of episodes and find out what I had to say about that. The second thing I talked about was putting yourself in the position of being an entrepreneur over being a musician. You have to look at your career as an entrepreneur. What would an entrepreneur do if they were trying to take something to a higher level? And that's what we're trying to do here with our music and our careers. Go to a higher place with it. And basically it boils down to really just how much are you willing to work is really what it boils down to. How badly do you want it? That's what the entrepreneur. Go back a bunch of episodes and find out what I had to say about that. And then the next thing I talked about was going on tour. And I think from this point on, it was all just ideas that I'm bullish on and talk about a lot and wanted to bring up to you. So what my thoughts around going on tour were a few episodes ago. I went on that. Super important. Get on tour. The next thing I talked about, which was last week, was the importance of social media and the best places, the social media that you need to be focusing energy on. And so this time, I'm going to break that down a little bit farther and spend a little bit of time on the most important social media internet platform that you need to have and spend time on. And that's Facebook. And that's what I said before, and I'm still saying it again. Facebook is the number one most important place to spend time on. And one of the things I said there, why it's so important, is because it takes away the middleman. You can access your audience directly through promoted posts. However, a lot of us need to look at it through the lens of a more grassroots place. Like, we can't afford what it really takes to pay promoted posts to make a significant difference. From my experience, I've done it with the podcast. I've paid for promotes. I've paid from like $1, $2, $5 promoted posts up to the most I've ever paid on a post is $50 on a promoted post within like a week's span of time. And the difference that I've seen is that the small number of promoted posts just gets it out to the audience you already know is going to see it anyway. But when you start to get into a larger dollar amount, it starts to mine away and get deeper into the infrastructure, the kind of the organism that is Facebook. So from my perspective, to really make a promoted post make any difference, you are looking at the $100 per post type of range, at least $100. I mean, if you are a big company or something, you have lots of money to throw at it, of course it's the best. From what I understand about the price versus what you get out of it, it's the best place to place your money if you have the money to put at it. However, a lot of us don't have the money to put into it. So what do we do? What do you do? Where do you go if you don't have the money and you still understand that Facebook is the most important place to put your energy? One thing is just making sure you're active on it, continually being active. You want to have your band page, your product page, your business page, but you also want to have a profile of your own. And distinguishing the difference between those two is very, very important. If you're using a profile as your main place where your band exists or your product exists, that's doing it wrong. You're putting friction between you and your audience. If you're requiring them to friend you and then get a friend acceptance back and those types of things, because if and when your audience discovers you, you want them to have the least amount of friction. The least amount of friction is follow the page on Facebook. They can just click follow, and any information, they have access. They have the ability to say, I want to not only like it, well, like it is what I should have said, not only like it, but then follow it. And if once they start following it, they'll get your information just out in the top of their feed and things like that. So if you are presenting something that somebody really wants to know about, having that Facebook page is super duper important. So that's the thing. And we all know if they don't follow it, if it's just people that you've collected, you've invited to like your page, and it's just they're not real fans, but you still want to get your information in front of them, that's where the paid stuff comes in. That's where it gets the gray area gets there. But this is why at a lot of our levels, at our grassroots levels, your personal profile is your most powerful tool for getting the word out about your music and art. And it's a very touchy subject, very polarizing subject. A lot of people just refuse to use their personal profile to promote themselves at all. And I believe if you're one of those types of people, you're leaving so much opportunity on the table, and you're not actually that serious about your career and your craft as a musician. Your personal profile is where people that like you actually want to know what you're up to. And especially if you give them some kind of content that has some teeth, that has some substance to it, and you do it in a pace that works. Because like I said before, there's no such thing as posting too much when you have a fan base. When your fan base is there, there's no such thing as posting too much. Your fan base will eat up every single thing and not make any judgments on the things that they don't want to see. They just go, oh, well, they're posting a lot and I'll get to it later. The only people that place judgments are the people that are in your personal network, your friends and family that are closer to you, that aren't connected to your career specifically. So that's why your personal profile plays by slightly different rules. It's still the best way as a grassroots level for us to get the word out and get the most people to see it, the most reach to see it without paying, is through your personal profile. So how do we do that? How do we make that happen? The best way that I've found is to make sure, like I said, make sure whatever you're posting on there has substance, has something significant to say about it. It's meaning, tells a little bit of the story of you and your band and your music and why you do it, and whatever it is in your life that's important. Give them something that they can go, oh wow, I never knew that about this person, and that gets them engaged a little bit more. If you just share a link, come to my show, if you just share a link, listen to my music, that doesn't do anything. That does nothing. It's almost like you didn't do anything, because it just turns into noise and just goes through the other person's feed and just kind of falls down. But when you share those links and when you share that music, you tell a little story about it. Say, hey, I just wrote this song. It means a lot to me. This is what it's about, blah, blah, blah. Give some story to that share, not just the share itself. So it kind of grabs people in, and then they'll maybe, hopefully, fingers crossed, they'll then dig deeper and go, oh, I really liked what Zim had to say about his song. I want to actually listen to it now, and then go, oh, I actually liked it. Let me listen to more of the song. So it creates a snowball. And really, so your friends and family are not typically going to become your fans. It's kind of those acquaintances, those people that you've collected that you don't necessarily talk to all the time, or you saw at a show once, that, over time, it's like a longer term relationship, that when you start to do this with your personal profile, they're the ones that go, oh, I really liked what Zim had to say about this, his life and times and music and art. I'm going to engage with him a little bit more and connect with and follow him a little bit closer, and go over to his band page and see what's going on, go over to his YouTube page and see what's going on, things like that. So that's why the personal profile is your biggest leverage point when you have zero fans. Like, you're just at a super duper grassroots level, you don't have anywhere. That focusing energy on how you curate your personal profile is huge, is so big. I can't stress it enough. And the problem that I see is hardly anybody in the community that I'm aware of uses their personal profile in a way that invites people to kind of engage with what they're building as their career. They either post too many things of non-significance, like bitching about politics, or cat videos and funny things. You got to curate it very specifically, and you got to like I said, you got to look at it in the lens of being an entrepreneur. And there is, when you really want to access your career in a way that you want to take it somewhere else, you don't have the luxury anymore necessarily of just having this profile that is just personal. It's like you need to share a little bit about who you are to everybody in a way that maybe puts you in a little bit of an uncomfortable space, but it's what people want. They want authenticity. They want to know, because the problem with pages and other social, other places you promote your product and your band and things like that is oftentimes people know already it's a sales pitch. They're seeing it as it's just the sales pitch side of what you're building. Whereas when it's on your personal profile, they know it could be you more than any other resource. So that's another reason why it's super important to really curate your personal profile. And if you want help doing that, if you want to go deeper in this, feel free to email me, talk to me about it. I have so many more thoughts and ideas around it. There's another topic I want to talk about with Facebook in particular, and it's Facebook event pages. And all of us are leaving. It's one of the last places on Facebook that you can get a broader reach for what you're doing with less money spent on it, because there's something that happens that nobody's taking advantage of, and it's kind of good. So if you decide to jump on this, again, you have to curate it in a good way. But when you create an event page, you get, hopefully everybody that's a part of that event will invite all their people to, which doesn't happen nearly enough. But you need to get everybody that's involved with an event invited to that page, like getting all their friends from their personal profiles to invite everybody they know. And then once all the people are invited, you start interacting with that profile, because Facebook alerts everybody that was invited to when people are interacting with that event page. And it's a place where there's no paywall, there's nothing in the way of it. So if you curate your content on that event page in a way that entices people to want to learn more about it, you're notifying, everybody's getting a notification that was invited. So that's why it's super important for everybody that's on a show and things like that to work together, to do things together, to do more. And it's just like, the more you can do together, like create unique, specific content for that show as a group, as each band, like come together and make a video where all the band members from each band are in one video together, things like that. Get everybody excited, and it'll get more people interested in what you're doing. But it takes work. The bottom line is it takes work. It goes back to what I said already. How much are you willing to put in the lens of an entrepreneur? Like how can you think outside of the box to do all this stuff? Because there's so many opportunities if you're willing to put in the work. If you think it's good enough to just play an instrument and play some shows every once in a while, then you're not really going to do much with your career. If you go like, okay, that's a given, I need to play shows and I need to practice my instrument, I need to write songs, all that's a given, what more can I do now? That's when you're going to start to see your career grow. What more can I do on top of all that? So I don't know. Do you agree? Do you disagree? I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Feel free to hit me up on the post of this, podcast on Facebook, facebook.com/We're on the Street podcast. I'd love to hear your comments in that post on Facebook. So do that. And let's get on with this podcast. Like I said, we got Woodshed on it today. We got Nathan and Hunter from Woodshed. And all right, let's do this.
Yeah, our lives are noisy.
Yeah. Okay. All right, here we are with Woodshed, Nathan and Hunter.
Yes.
And this is Word on the Street. So what I like to do right away is just do like a kind of introduce yourself again with, so we can get voices to names, to talk about what instrument you play in the band, and then also what other role, what otherly thing you do in the band or in life or whatever, I
do everything.
I know, right?
I play guitar
Okay.
and I also sing.
Okay.
So we're just 3-piece, so double duty.
All right.
And I do lots of stuff. I don't know.
Cool.
I gotta
Well,
work and
We'll get into
And his name's Hunter.
The lots of other stuff that you do as well. But like, are you is this band? Well, I'll ask a question in a second. Let's just go around.
Oh, I'm Nathan. I play bass and I act ridiculous on stage.
You have what
Yeah.
on stage?
I act ridiculous. Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Ridiculoso. We are ridiculoso.
Keep away the
But yeah,
the
Jake's
boggarts.
not here, but he plays drums, and he lives on Woodby Island now, so he's
Jake?
kind of hard to get him out here. Good old Jake Turner.
All right.
yep, he's missing out.
Jake's here in spirit. Hey
We
Jake,
miss
we
you,
love
Jake.
you, man.
I love you, Jake.
We'll get you in there one of these days.
He couldn't be here tonight.
It's
He's
all
not
good.
dead. He just couldn't be
It's
here.
all good. So Hunter's on guitar. So being the guitar lead vocalist, is that put you in the role as well as like band leader, quote unquote?
I guess so. I've been doing Woodshed for like
Ever.
almost for 9 years now.
Yeah,
so,
9 years. Cool. Yeah, my band's been around for 9 years,
yeah.
so we're
Yeah.
still doing it.
Broaching the decade.
Nathan joined.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
That is a song for the future. That's it. That's a hint towards the future for future albums.
Nathan
ringtone.
went 4 years ago.
Yeah, something like that. I just
4
looked
years
up.
ago.
I think it was like January of 2014, so it might be 3 years,
Cool.
3.5,
Oh, okay.
something like that.
Anyway, I've been chugging along at this for a while.
So it's kind of your thing then,
Yeah,
in
it's
a lot
kinda
of
my
ways.
baby.
Oh, okay. How long has Jake been in it?
Same as me. He's probably 4 years now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's been in a little bit longer than Nathan, but we played without a bass player for a little while. So
I did-
Two-piece for
yeah,
the
we
two-piece
we
thing.
did
Cool.
the 2-piece thing for.
Was
a bit.
it out of necessity or was it out of choice?
At a choice? We were looking for a bass player, and I play baritone a lot of the time, so
Okay.
we were able to just make it sound super heavy with
Yeah.
just the two of us. So we just rolled with it. And
Yeah.
then Nathan said he'd love to join, so we got after it.
Yeah, at a show. You're like after a show.
Oh well, I mean,
Well,
we
I
used
want-
to play together all the time back in the day. I used
Okay.
to have a band called Colossus. That was like probably 5-6 years ago. Something like
That
that.
was probably
6,
like
7 years now.
7
Man,
years
we're getting
ago.
old, getting long in the
Yeah.
tooth. But we used to play together all the time with the old version of Woodshed. Hunter's like he's always been in Woodshed.
Yeah.
He started in high school.
Well,
He's pretty much only been in Woodshed.
Yeah.
And we love their old band, and we all were like, well, this works out. And we just dug each other's band, played a whole bunch of shows together.
Yeah,
Then we all broke
remember the
up.
one at the Tiger Lounge?
Oh my God, the old Tiger Lounge
Down
in Georgetown.
Yeah,
I played a
that place
show
is
there
awesome.
once.
Yeah,
I forgot
We
about
watched
that place.
we watched a guy get a clothesline because he stole the tip money off the.
which wasn't smart. I mean, it's not smart anyway, but it wasn't smart because the bar was all the way in the back of that place.
Yeah.
It was like it was somebody's house they converted into a bar, right?
Yeah.
And so he had to run all the way through like the whole show and everybody to get out with it, and everyone saw him. And we're on stage. I think it was us. I think
Got him.
it was us. It was Colossus, my band, and then Woodshed.
I think my
and
uncle
Stoic.
got him.
Yeah,
My uncle was like the
your
first.
uncle like clothesline.
yeah, he was like the first drummer of
Out in
Woodshed for a
front of
while there.
Really? Oh yeah, dude. That was a family affair. Yeah. Knocked him over, and he just got his ass beat out in front by like everybody, and then he disappeared.
We have
My
to
buddy Ahmed jumped in his saw the guy's car, and he opened up the back trunk, and there was like a QP of weed in that thing too. It took that.
I feel like we also have to mention the chimes in the background that we might be hearing.
Oh yeah, that's my dog Caius.
He's awesome.
He's
Was he
doing
Australian?
spins and 360s in the living room.
We've had many dogs on the podcast so far, so
Yeah,
he's in good company.
cast.
Good company.
he's crazy.
Well, I also wanted to just give a kind of a shout out in a sense, or a connect the dots kind of thing. Like I hadn't heard of Woodshed. Like it's been around for 9 years, right? But I've only heard about
10,
it
yeah.
10 years, and I've just heard about it like 6 months ago or something. Because like
It
with
means
the,
it's working,
For
right?
9 years. This
With-
was 9
we're
years.
getting
I'm an
there.
idiot.
with the investigation of like the podcast and getting to know other people and just expanding the community and stuff, the first time I heard about it was I was on another podcast, Michael Knapp and
Oh yeah,
Dave.
Mind Vice, right?
Yeah, Mind Vice guy, but Dave, he did a podcast as well, and I forget Dave's last name, but he was like, "I love Woodshed. You got to find out about Woodshed." So I was like, "Okay, Woodshed. Okay, that was the first time."
Well, we love Dave.
And then Ian Sides was like, "Man, you should get Woodshed on the podcast." I was like, "Okay, I guess I gotta get."
Ian, yeah, we
then,
love Ian.
And then it just all kind of. Then I think one of you reached out to me, and like we just kind of was like, "All right, well, shit."
Oh yeah, I was talking to Ian about that. Yeah, 4-string Mafia. Hey, Ian.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, ooh, I like that.
No.
Us
bassists thick stringers have to stick together.
Big stringers, yeah.
Those big stringers. You guys are cute with your little 6 strings. What do you compensate?
Hey man, I play an in-between one.
I like.
He plays an in-between one. He's one of the good ones. Yeah.
I can play bass.
I want to sidetrack this real. So, do you have a preference on bass in terms of how many strings that you play?
It's not really I mean, when I was younger, you know, or like, you know, you're intemperate in your youth and you have your really elitist views on things. Like, you have 4-string bass and 6-string guitar.
Yeah.
You know, and it kind of blurs over time.
I'm still that way.
Yeah, I feel that way.
We use a 5-string.
I really never
bass.
started using a 5-string until this guy, you know, because he's playing some of the, especially like some of the older songs.
Drop A on the baritone, so.
Okay.
He kind of has to be able to match that.
Yeah, he's playing slide on a baritone Jaguar, and he was like, "Why don't you try this? Because this string's a little low." I was like, "Fine."
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I have to use this.
Well, I won't get too deep into my nerdiness about the 4-string bass and stuff, but thanks for indulging.
Oh, we can do that later.
Yeah.
We can have an addendum.
We'll have the bass.
Bass masterclass.
I should have all bass players on a podcast.
I would be so into that.
The bass cast.
The bass cast. That'd be
bass
fun.
cast. Yeah, Ian.
It's a fishing show.
Yeah.
Get Kurt in here. Both Kurt Kofelds.
I'd probably get more hits because people would think it was going to be a fishing show.
Yeah. The bass cast.
But so one thing I like to do a couple things I like to do right off the top is one thing I like to do is set up the theater of the mind and just, you know, so we can invite our listeners in to feel like they're a part of this conversation with us. So obviously they can hear the dog running around, hopefully. But what else are they sitting in? What is this room they're sitting in with us?
Well, you're sitting in my dome house.
The Thunderdome.
And Autumn and Billy are over here. Say hey.
Hi. Yeah, we got a peace sign thrown in the air. There you go. I don't know. Hopefully that picked up. You know,
Quite the view out there. These are some old speakers.
Yeah.
You got it's a great sound. So I'm using an old PV PA
stereo.
Yeah, the stereo is like classic looking stereo.
Yeah.
Got the
stereo.
What do we
Billy's
call
stuff and my stuff and
what do we call
record player.
the
The hi-fi.
yeah the
speakers?
separate units of these back in the day. It was like,
Yeah, is that the? Is
those
that
are
what
old
hi-fi
PA
is?
speakers. Those are like custom PA speakers.
oh, those ones are okay.
And there's a
He just put
PV
his record
head
player after
running
like an old
it.
PA system. Sounds really good.
It looks vintage. Definitely looks vintage.
It's old
Cool.
to me.
Shaggy carpet,
Mhm.
comfortable. Out in the what part of the town are we in? Right
We're in
now?
Arlington right now.
We're in Arlington, so it's
North
very
of the wall.
peaceful. Lots of woods, lots of rolling hills and
Yep.
green.
mountains off there.
Away from the city.
I'm wondering, do you guys ever throw concerts here?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
I'd have to go
working
talk
on
to
it.
all the neighbors.
Yeah.
It's not that far. I mean, it's pretty
It'd
far
be
out of here, but it's not
pretty-
far enough to just.
Be pretty loud.
Yeah. Because it seems like it's a lot of property. So
I mean, we could set up on the porch out there, and that'd be pretty cool. But I might piss off the neighbors.
yeah.
Well, we can
Well,
figure that out sometime. Maybe it would be pretty cool.
this is rock and roll, man. Most
Can't
piss
hold us
off-
down.
Yeah. Screw you. Don't tell me what to do.
The cops over here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Cool. So the next thing I like to do right off the top is do like a little bullet point kind of idea and see what the things we may talk about as we go through this conversation. And this, as I like to remind you, well, two things I forgot to tell you right off the top is this is definitely a forum for you guys to bring up whatever it is that you want to talk about. So that, and in that idea, there's no real rules. I usually kind of keep it in a music-oriented conversation,
Right.
but don't feel like there's any strict rules for anything you want to talk about. But the main thing that I know, I'll start off the bullet points. The main thing is definitely just Woodshed.
Woodshed.
What is Woodshed? How does it exist in the world? And all that kind of stuff. Are there albums? Like, at what state are you with the recording process?
You want to
So,
start the discography there, Hunter?
Yeah.
so, yeah, Woodshed. I don't know. It's
Like,
just
have you recently released something, or are you about to?
last year we just released
Okay.
our second I guess we'll call that one an album. It's long enough to be an album.
An album?
It's got 7 songs on it.
Come on, man. We're trying to tell people. It's an album, folks.
All right. Well, we can get more. We can get deeper into.
We just have
whole-
long songs.
But that one's called
so it
Hands in the
doesn't
Sky.
crash.
Okay.
And that's the first one with Jake and Nathan.
Okay. Cool.
And also our old guitar player Matt is on that one too.
Oh, okay. Cool. Cool.
So-
All right. So albums. We'll get into the album stuff. We could talk a little bit about just lineup change stuff if we want. Is there anything else just about Woodshed that is significant that we might want to drop in here, or anything else in general about music or
Just
ideas?
Just love playing, love making music,
All right,
man.
we'll
Yeah.
see. We'll see how it goes as it unfolds.
Yeah.
All right. So the main thing that I've been running with these days, and I hope I'm not. Well, never mind. I'm not going to go down that way. The main thing I've been running with these days with this idea of like the podcast for me is very much about the culture of the Seattle and Northwest music community.
Right.
And I'm finding like I like one of the main questions I like to ask or find out from each band is how the band members feel that their band exists within the greater community. You know, and I've kind of come up with this XY axis type of idea, and on my Y axis is like my genre, kind of where you fall in the genre spectrum within
Right.
because there's so much going on.
And they kind of blend, too. That makes sense. I like that.
And then on the X axis is kind of like the goal spectrum. Like what is it you want to do? On one end of the spectrum is probably like I just want to sit in my bedroom and play my guitar. And on the other end of the spectrum is I'm ready to take over the world with my music. You know? So like those are the two ends.
I'd say the second one.
Yeah, the second one, great.
Closer to the second
All
one,
right,
yeah.
let's do it. Let's get into it. So in your perspective, in a way, just either referencing the spectrum or just what you think of, like, what is it that you set out to do with Woodshed? Have you accomplished it? And then what more are you trying to do? What has changed since the origin of the idea? Like some of those ideas. Just play with that. See what you come up with.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're doing pretty good right now, and I'm digging the hell out of it.
Yeah.
Considering I come from a small town.
Yeah.
I used to live out in Stanwood.
Okay, a little farther north.
All my friends lived around here,
Yeah.
so I had to
He
ride my
liked rock
bike to go
music.
hang
Yeah.
out with anybody. But yeah, I mean, listen to the radio all the time, and all my heroes were on there growing up. So I just wanted to do that. So now I'm out. We're making a new record right now.
Okay.
And we get to kind of work slow on this one because we got signed on a small label, but it's
Strange Earth Records.
called Strange Earth Records. It's
Okay.
owned by Van Connor from the Screaming Trees and Valis.
The big man of the bass. 4-string mafia.
Yeah, another one.
Bases.
Right on.
And so now we get to use that studio and
Yeah.
kind of take our time with something, and it's coming. We went and tracked 4 songs last weekend.
Yeah.
And
Cool.
they sound pretty killer for being rough mixes. So yeah, I'm just excited.
Cool. Well,
Obviously, want to take it further than that too, but this is good. We're at a good level
Yeah.
right here.
we got an hour to fill, so we got to get really detaily on some of this stuff. So let's.
Oh, yeah, we will.
Let's talk about. You said you had your influence, your inspirations, your heroes.
Right.
You wanted to emulate. You wanted to be a part of. You wanted to get connected to this idea. Like, talk about who are these heroes?
Well, so yeah, I started getting into guitar, and my folks bought me a guitar. It's actually sitting right over there.
First one.
First
nice.
one. Hell, I didn't even know how to play the damn thing.
Yeah.
Or
He just
what to
sucking up
do.
Nirvana
I just-
and Black Sabbath. And
yeah, I just like
Old
yeah,
Skinner
Soundgarden was huge for
Okay.
me. And
Yeah.
Nirvana and Black Sabbath and Ozzy with Randy Rhoads and stuff like that. So I'm sure I annoyed the hell out of my folks for a little while there when I didn't know how to play. And
Yeah.
plugged in the shitty little amp that I had, and the guitar wasn't even in tune or nothing. Trying to figure
Are
it
you
out.
all self-taught, kind of like
Yeah.
just did the
It's actually a song name of ours.
yeah? Did you do the tab
Self-taught.
thing, or how'd you access actually learning stuff?
So, yeah, I guess tabs in the beginning
Yeah.
were huge. Just I don't know, just playing every day. I
He's
guess.
always
Yeah.
seemed to have just
Just
a
playing
natural
every day.
drive. And
Yeah.
I have a good ear, I would say. So, just kind of emulate your heroes and
He's stubborn, so he just keeps doing it until it sounds good. Basically,
keep doing it till it sounds good.
Cool. So what was it that was? So it sounds like you've been doing Woodshed for a while. Did you have other bands before that you were a part of?
No, not really.
So Woodshed was like the one.
Yeah.
Like you're cool.
Jake and I have been in a bunch of bands over time, but Hunter's he's Woodshed.
Yeah, cool. So when you started, what was that initial vision? What was that thing that said, I'm going to put a band together? What was that feeling inside of you that said, I want to do this? And how has, basically, how did you feel at that moment? And how has it changed inside of you since that moment?
Yeah, I guess it hasn't really changed too much. I just knew that's what I liked to do. That's what I wanted to do with my life. And I felt personally like I was writing cool stuff, even at all, the age levels.
Yeah.
Some of my earlier songs are probably not very great.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. I was actually just talking to a friend of mine today about some of my. I was like, we should make a question of on the podcast. What is your most embarrassing song that you've recorded?
Oh man, we should all record it and make an album of everybody.
I know somewhere floating around. I used to have an old black tape recorder.
Yeah.
You put a cassette tape in and hit record on it. And I used to sit around and record stuff with that. So there's probably some there's some weird stuff buried somewhere.
I used to my very first recordings was the mic, what is it, a speaker of a headphone that I put against my guitar and plugged into the other, the recording jack of a boombox, and recorded my guitar with a speaker of a headphone.
Right.
Oh, weird. That's crazy.
Yeah, I used to plug into the
messing with weird stuff.
Yeah. The shitty old radio receiver that my dad used to have in the garage.
Yeah.
Jam out there.
When we were real young, my mom had she still has this old reel-to-reel player,
Yeah. I just got my
real deal.
Yeah, I got one from my dad recently. I haven't cranked it up.
Nice.
I remember playing with it when I was a kid, but I haven't played with it yet since I got it from him.
They're cool, man. We've had a bunch of old random, dilapidated Lawrence Welk recordings or whatever. So we're just recording over it, trying to put stuff down for band practice with my old buddies.
That's cool. I've never messed around with
yeah,
one
it
of
was
those.
pretty cool. We just found some of the tapes.
I had the old
other day.
Tascam 4-track, but I could never figure
we
out how
had
to
one of
make
those
that thing
too.
work right.
Yeah, I still have a broken one.
Yeah.
I think it was broken to begin with.
I
always went back to the shitty black tape recorder.
Yeah.
Speaking of we brought up Mind Vice. They recorded an album recently with one of those.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, they went way back.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, White Album was 4-track.
Yeah.
It was a bigger one, but
So you wanted to put you just kind of wanted to put this together. I'm trying to find out what was that inspiration? I guess it was, you said it was, you wanted to you were inspired by what you heard.
Yeah.
So it's you wanted to then go, I want to do that.
Yeah.
It's and then you just started. So how was it the first time you asked people to play with you, or how did you get people to? Was it just some friends?
For a while, I went and jammed with. I had an old friend that lived down the road, actually right down the road, but used to carry my little shitty amp down and my guitar. And one day we tried to build a mic stand because we were having band practice,
taping drumsticks together and shit.
Yeah. But that didn't pan out. I played by myself for quite a while.
Yeah.
And I played with a couple friends in high school, and we did talent shows and crap like that. But I went and did a lot of open mics, and when people started telling me my songs were good. So.
Okay, cool. So that kind of empowered you to say, well, let's put a band together around this.
I mean, I always wanted. It's one thing to play acoustic and sing by yourself, but putting a band together and having everything there and just going out and blowing it up is just, it feels so good.
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe it.
We all kind of feel that music is more about communication with other people and stuff, and it's just when you're playing with other people that you can play off of and communicate with musically, like Hunter and Jake and I do, or like other,
recently, I mean,
that's the best way to make music.
We've come a little ways, I guess, because recently we played that Devil's Hunt Me Down EP release.
God, that was great.
And the place was sold out by 9:00, and like just that many people in the room.
Yeah,
you feel that energy.
Oh,
you play better. It feels good.
Yeah,
it feels good. It's awesome.
Was that one of the kind of first times to have that many people?
Yeah,
for a show?
I mean, we've packed them in a couple places, but that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
that was pretty
awesome.
dramatic because we hit the stage at 10:15 and we like turned around, everything's set up, okay, running around, sweat's already going, and look out, and she's like, oh man, this is full.
Yeah.
This is gonna be good because that positive feedback loop from people enjoying what you're doing
like sold
makes
out right
you
before we played.
get better.
Yeah. No, it's a
emote.
It's
It
kind of a
felt,
drug.
It felt
man.
really good
Like,
coming from like an area like this. I mean, we're an hour north of Seattle.
Yeah.
So playing
we're
the
down
high
my
dive,
mm-hmm.
a sold out high dive was like, kind of when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Learning, that's what I wanted to do. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
That's cool. So that's one of the goals, thing. So when you were first kind of putting the band together, like what was your access to playing shows? Like where did you play shows for the first,
so
few
around
years?
around here, there's a place called the Mirkwood, and it's in Arlington.
Yeah.
And that was like the hub that's like where we started.
Yeah.
We played a couple.
Is, man.
Yeah, I mean they still do shows there and stuff, so that's kind of the hometown venue. But
you should comment on how cool that place is, though. It's like an Art Deco turn of the century church.
it looks like the Alamo.
It kind of looks like the Alamo actually, down in like Americana Slice, Arlington.
It's pretty cool.
And it's Lord of the Rings themed bar that has like all ages venue and stuff, and the stage is where. Like,
it's all ages.
The altar used to be, and the pool table in the old rectory. It's a pretty badass place.
I've also played some coffee shops and small places in Everett. And
So do you cater your set to different venues then? Will you play more acoustically when...
No, we usually just go blow it up.
Yeah. Good. Are they usually aware of what's about to happen, or are they
Maybe more now in last year or so or something.
Did you have any experiences of like the venue being on like,
oh yeah,
you have to turn
we
down.
got actually
J&M
this
card
last
room,
year, the J&M card room in Seattle told us to stop. We were supposed to play for like 2 hours.
Dude, yeah, it was us and Blackstone.
And they shut us
Days
down after like
all
40
night.
minutes because there's like, you're too loud. And all the people are dancing and stuff.
Everybody's
like,
the bartenders
what the
were
hell?
happy. I don't know what the heck happened. But
Well, you don't know who shut it down?
It was the bar manager.
The bar manager. Every single other person though was really grooving it.
J&M in Pioneer Square.
Yeah. And then Jim from Blackstone Days, he comes up and is like, "Hey, we're gonna do the same thing. Don't worry, check this out."
Yeah.
He gets up, and he's
they
a
almost
loud
played
bastard,
louder than
too.
us.
Yeah.
They're louder. I don't know they could be louder. We're all using old 70s tube gear and stuff basically. So
Yeah.
we're loud. I don't know what they expected, but people liked it anyway. We had a good time.
Cool. Well, so you did your first. When did you do your first recording? When was that?
First studio recording.
album.
Yeah.
The first
So-
Shed album.
Yeah, we went into with the old band members. We went to make a record. God, it was like 2009 maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was around then. And it was supposed to be full length, but we had some issues.
Oh, okay.
It ended up.
What was it like? Money or time?
They're all young
or-
too. How old are you guys?
Time. Some of the songs weren't recorded the best.
Yeah.
Like we didn't get the best takes on them, so we just kind of
Scratched them.
them. So we spent a shitload of too much money on that.
Yeah.
So we took 6 off of that and remixed them and mastered them, and they ended up pretty cool.
Yeah.
So we recorded 2009, so we didn't release it till 2011.
Yeah.
So that's how long that took.
Okay. Well, okay, 2 years or 3 years.
Because we had to
I had that album for
we had
like
to
3
fix some
years though
stuff.
before I even was in the band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all did, dude. That album's great. We still play a lot of the songs on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're a little different now, obviously. How old were you guys though? Seriously.
I was like 20,
Yeah.
21.
And Greg must have been what, like?
No, I was 21 because
17,
I could buy
18?
booze.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah. No, I was 21.
So
you did that one, and then you must have played around for a while with
yeah,
it. and did the thing.
We played for a while.
When did you guys break up?
We broke up in 2013.
Yeah.
And then I didn't really do much for a little while there, and then met Jake.
Okay.
Started playing with Jake, and then I think we went over this earlier.
A little bit.
Story how you make Jake's interesting though. Yeah.
Yeah,
they grew up down the road.
Jake
from
because
each
of
other
my girlfriend,
forever.
Autumn, who wasn't my girlfriend at the time, but she's right here trying to sneak past us.
Oh, cheese stick?
Say hi.
Cheese stick?
Hello.
again. Well, cool. But so what? Tell me about the break. Was it like the band broke up and stopped for a while?
Yeah.
And what was going on for you during that time? Did you feel like you might not want to go back to it, or did you?
Yeah, I was thinking of just starting a new project
Entirely,
but then Jake kind of put it in my ear to no, I shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
He's like, "This is sweet. Why would you?
Yeah.
Why would you put that much work in and then quit?"
Yeah.
So he had a pretty good point. So yeah, a lot of people told me that. So we decided to
you looked all down
carry it on, and that's when we became a two-piece.
Yeah,
and had Nathan join.
And then you went back in the studio.
Dude, we were so excited when we heard their.
So we taught him all the songs that Jake and I knew, and then a couple more together, and then
wrote some more, made some more.
Then we went to this little studio in Stanwood, and so it's called Plum Tree Studios. We went there and just recorded all the 7 songs.
Yeah.
One day we recorded them all.
Oh, how'd that work out? Like, did you do it live then? Like all kind of live?
Yeah, we did kind of live, but the place is tiny, so it was it was difficult.
Yeah, I have my band, at my bass, I'm standing in the recording booth behind Richard there, and I'm trying to look through the window and be like, "Where are they?"
Yeah.
But then we took a little while on overdubs and vocals because I was sick. I don't know why, but every time I go in the studio, I start to get sick beforehand.
I wonder if it's like,
well,
for me, I get so
worked
up
these days.
Yeah, I get so worked up about ideas. Like I'm in Seattle, I'm in the Northwest right now, and I was like, I get so I can't get sick. Well, I'm about to go record all these podcasts, do this thing. I just got to make, and I get like, oh fuck, I'm starting to feel crappy. What's going on? It's like.
Like even this last week, I had some weird cough thing. I'm just like, what the hell, man? So
you recorded all in one day.
Yeah.
And then did some
pretty much, yeah. Some overdubs. I think he went back into the vocals.
Yeah.
Overdubs, and then waited a little bit, and we had to remix it. And we had our friend Justin, who I also met through Autumn, over there.
Yeah, we're there.
Matchmaker. Yeah, Justin Davis. He's been working on our new stuff they're recording now, too.
Yeah, we just worked with him this last weekend, so
cool.
He's awesome. He's just really, really good at what he does. So
we're
digging it.
We hit talking about the second album at the perfect time because we're at that point where we got to put some music in.
Oh, okay.
So let's pick a song from the album.
We got to Train's Coming, right? That's kind of
yeah, we should probably do.
What's it kind of accurately describe?
It's called Train's Coming.
Okay. What about this? Tell me a little bit more about this song.
This song is my first slide song.
Okay, cool.
So I learned how to play slide, and this song came to be. And I haven't really put slide in anything else. So but
was it you had an idea for a song, so you learned slide, or were you just
I kind of just was messing around with this little riff with the slide on my finger, and then it just kind of turned into a song and different parts.
Mm-hmm.
Jake laid down some killer drums for it, and that's one of the ones we went and played as a 2-piece.
Okay.
I remember hearing that the first time. I was like, is he playing on a baritone?
Yeah.
Sliding a baritone Jaguar.
I tuned my baritone to an open tuning.
Okay.
And I play slide on that. Cool. So
sounds mean. I was like, dude,
it sounds pretty crazy.
Like, I'm playing bass for you guys.
It's some crazy love.
I can do that.
That was
I got you.
One of those
sounds
moments.
dirty and heavy and nasty. It's pretty cool.
Cool. Well, I'm excited to hear it for sure. Well, let's drop it in. It's Train's Coming. Hand in the Sky.
Hands in the Sky.
Hands up.
Hands in.
Hands. Okay.
Hands in the Sky.
Hands in the Sky. Woodshed.
Hands in the Sky. No.
So one of the ideas. So we're talking about songwriting a little bit now. We're kind of getting into this idea of songwriting and stuff. With now that you got a core again, you got 3 of you ready to rock, doing the thing. And you're about to go into the studio again. You said, or you're working on songs.
Yeah, we just started.
What does the songwriting process look like for you guys as a band? I mean, you're obviously the leader of the band. This is your project. But what is it? How does it play out? Do you bring a complete song? Do you guys riff out? Do you guys jam? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, I guess like in practice we kind of screw around. But like I write songs usually and bring them to these guys and show them to them, and then we go off of there.
We'll add our parts.
But sometimes we'll just be jamming. Like when we go play bars and stuff and we have to fill the whole night.
Yeah.
We'll just go
there's
off for a while.
There's spots where we'll just free jam for a while and just we can read each other pretty well.
Okay. So you do a little bit of improvisational jam kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
It's pretty fun. It's a good way to start off practice usually anyway.
Yeah. Well, I want to come back to this idea, but I want to talk for a moment. How do you guys, just when somebody asks you, what's your band sound like? What do you tell them?
Ooh.
I always start off saying like, hard rock, and then, but wait, because that sounds like a cop-out answer because it's a generic sounding.
That's what I tell
everybody. Comparison. Well, we get
sounds like hard rock. You need to come listen to us.
What I keep getting a lot from people is that it has a familiarity without sounding generic.
Okay.
We got some dirt under our toes, but there's like Hunter sings. He's a great singer. He has a great voice, and his lyrics are captivating. You can paint something. And to everybody's kind of different, but people said we sound like some combination between like Allman Brothers and Alice in Chains. Or not that we're as good as either of them, obviously, but something in that mixture of things. Those are kind of different things.
Mastodon, we've heard that.
But I'm from Seattle.
I've had a lot of people tell me I sound like Ronnie Van Zant for some reason.
Yeah, because you got a little country in you. You got a northern boy.
Chill.
I'm from Seattle, so like coming up here and being in the band and like seeing where everything came from. It makes a little more sense once you have the setting. Like the song "Trains Coming" that we just played.
Yeah.
He was telling me about hearing the train go by his room when he was growing up.
Oh yeah, so out here there's train tracks right down here. So at night it echoes pretty loud, and so it's just kind of a. And when I lived in Stanwood, there's a train out there, so it just follows. I hear that same train.
Yeah.
It's a continuous sonic theme of like your life,
Get crazy. Out of here on this thing or something.
Yeah. The hell? What are you doing here?
Jump on a boxcar and get going. Explore the world, right? So you recorded this album, that song, and the album in a day, basically.
That was more than a day, but
the process was
but
the main tracks,
the bulk of it,
So what is it that you're trying to do based on what you learned from the first one? Or the second one, I guess you could say. Now that you're going in the studio again, what are you trying to do now that you had that one in the can and it's done, and you want to go do it again? Is there an evolution, or is there something that you're trying to go for that you didn't accomplish the first time? Like, what do you
do? Everything right the first time,
okay?
So you don't have to go back and fix stuff.
Mixing, less cutting whatnot.
Sure.
So and so far that's going at perfectly as planned. It's awesome.
What are some of the things that you want to go right? Just the performance aspect of it, or arrangements, or what?
A little better on the performance aspect, but like drum sounds and stuff, making sure everything is captured how it's supposed to be.
Well, we have the time and the equipment to do that now, and the experience. Hands in the Sky. Well, that's a reflection of where we were at that time. It was kind of catching up on things.
Kind of quick thing.
Yeah.
Let's go record these songs, and it was honestly it was gonna be more like a demo EP. But then
they were like, nah, we're like this. We're gonna do all of it.
So, but I just want everything to go like, especially this time around. We get to take our time a little bit. Like. We still want to work in a timely manner, but at the same time, we can take our time. We can go, oh, I don't really like that. We should try that again or something.
It is a little less stressful.
It's a lot less stressful. We're not trying to just get everything done. super quick. And
well, explain a little bit why it's less stressful. Does the label have anything to do with this?
Yeah, so our label has a studio.
Okay.
I'm not going to say where it is.
Secret studio.
It's a secret.
The secret.
So the label has a studio, so
It's
with
on
us
now.
being on the label and selling records and stuff like that, we get to use the studio to our expense. So,
Okay.
that's pretty cool. We still have to hire an engineer and, and stuff like that. And
The overhead is a lot less for us, though.
Yeah, we don't have to
So
rent the studio space
Yeah.
to do whatever, you know.
Yeah.
We can hire a guy that we want to work with and just have fun with it.
Yeah.
Also, we've been playing together longer now, and we kind of know each other better, and we have the songs down. Most of the stuff on this album is things that we've been playing live a lot, more than on any album.
So actually, one or two of these, two of these songs were supposed to be on the first one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we actually recorded them, but those are the ones that we scrapped.
Yeah.
So I've been waiting a long time to record a couple of these tunes.
So you're still like
clearing the backlog.
flushing
clearing the
out
backlog,
and getting it out. So it's like, in a way, what I'm hearing is, even though you did that second album, it is kind of more of a demo, and this one that you're working on is really going to be the first album, in some ways.
It's kind of a bridge between things. They're all just kind of different staples of where we are in time.
Yeah.
And most musicians know that have recorded stuff. What you're recording isn't really a representation of what you're doing now or where you want to go. It's where you were probably a few years ago. And things you want to express, get those thoughts finished and out. So we're kind of feel like we're making ground now.
It's a lot better to be able to, screw it, let's go record instead of waiting forever and, are we good enough? For when the band started.
These songs are pretty well rehearsed.
I guess we're good enough. Let's go make a record. No, we don't know what we're doing at all.
Yeah.
So we've done it a couple times now, and it's a little smooth. This process is a little smoother. I still have no idea what the engineers are talking about half the time.
Yeah. No, I under that "are we good enough" kind of concept, it's like one thing I've been running with a lot these days is just to try not to get caught up in that. Like you like kind of what you're suggesting, and just kind of do the best you can in the moment. And as long as you believe in it in a way, and try to get rid of that doubt, and push that aside. Yeah.
But that doubt likes to hang around.
I know, right?
Sometimes you can use it, but that's kind of why we like to when we're recording, we play all at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this one we're doing live.
But
that's basically how all of them have been.
Yeah.
So
we play with each other so much. It's like I need to know where, see Jake or see him or get some vocal cues or something. He's overdubbed the vocals later.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean he did a whole
some
bunch
guitars
of one take
stuff,
we're doing this time, man. He's killing it. But
so
the energy stays up when you're all playing together off of each other. I feel like.
Did somebody from the label approach you guys, or were you guys looking around for support? Or
actually, Van lived in. He lived in Stanwood.
Okay.
So we met him. I met him at the bar one night.
I met him at the boxcar, yeah.
No, I met him at the hotel.
They met at the hotel.
Yeah.
Still Stanwood.
Jake and
Same
I were
street, basically.
Jake and I were at the old hotel saloon in Stanwood, and
that's like the oldest building in Stanwood.
At the jam
too.
night, and Van hopped up and was playing guitar or whatever, and
that was you and me.
That was before I didn't even know who.
That was you and me, yeah. And then we had the old guy, the old jazz drummer.
Before I even know who he was, and then he introduced himself later in the night. I was just like, "Whoa, what?" Like,
I didn't even hear
you
that.
Were in the
Someone
trees,
came up
man.
and was like,
that's crazy. And so once he heard our Hands on the Sky record, he was like, "I want you guys on the label."
He's like, "Oh yeah,
okay."
And we're like, "Oh yeah, sure." Why not? So.
He was kind of our bud by then, though. We spent some time with that guy. Dude.
I'm recording a little. He's making an album right now, and I'm recording a little bit on that too with him. So that should be pretty cool.
So it's one of the main benefits of working with him is just having the studio space. Does he do and
the distribution of
okay, so he's got that going on
CDs,
too.
And he has a wealth of knowledge and experience.
Okay,
too. I mean, touring with the Trees back then, they were playing with all over the world with Nirvana and Alice in Chains and stuff, and Soundgarden.
Definitely helps to have a platform to sell your music through. Like, he kind of handles making sure we have CDs and stuff like that. So it takes some of the stress off. We can just go make the record and release it, and just a little easier, a little bit easier. It's pretty tough doing all that stuff by yourself.
Oh, for sure. No, that's awesome that you have that support, because it's like what I found is just this general idea of when people say label, quote unquote.
Yeah, well, it's not like MCA swooped in, like,
No, there's a huge spectrum. Some people call themselves a label but have no context, have no, whatever. They're not like, they don't help with publicity. It's like they just
like a dude started one in his garage.
This
which is cool
legit,
and all, but this has had some tangible benefit for sure.
Cool, that's awesome. Well, this leads me a bit. Well, I'm gonna come back to that because I just first thing I wanted to ask about was the relationship of, so now you play, how often do you get down to Seattle to play or whatever? And you said you're from Seattle, so so
we play probably at least twice a month on average.
So sometimes more.
Yeah. Is it all like around the so where do you mostly play? Like what is the?
We kind of go wherever.
Wherever.
A couple weekends ago we were in Ellensburg.
Okay.
So
we're playing down at Louis G's in Fife on the 24th, June 24th. I guess it'll be 2 months in the past when this comes out, right? Which was awesome. Glad you guys were there.
Glad you guys were there. Yeah, sweet.
Back to the Future now.
I love it.
Who's on that bill? It's Crossing Crusades, Mr. Master, and there's one other, and they're going to kill me.
Lust Punch,
yes. Dude, that's going to be amazing, actually.
And Locomotive.
Oh, God.
Locomotive. God, I love those guys. They were on the podcast.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Hi, guys. It was awesome playing a show with you.
Yeah,
in the future.
In the future.
In the past. Wherever we are.
In the future, in the past.
Yeah. So you're playing all around. That's awesome. Yeah. And you don't feel disconnected or anything from like the Seattle scene being up here, like, or anything. It's just kind of
all of us, like the bands that we tend to play with the most, like us and Wide Only in the Wreckage and Devil's Let Me Down and Kings of Cavalier and all the, they, and a lot of others, but all of us kind of see Washington in general.
Yeah, we just kind of try to make it a big community, which is cool because
Seattle's always going to be
a few years ago, like I feel like it wasn't like that as much.
It wasn't. I remember like the punk scene revival when I was, a teenager in like the early 2000s and stuff, and it was really Seattle centric, and it was really cool, and it kind of popped and disappeared again. But
yeah, it seems right now. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm
played a lot of empty shows.
Yeah. Right, a lot of Wednesday nights at Studio 7.
Or Club Motor. Do you remember Club Motor?
Club Motor.
Yeah, that place sucked.
I still miss the Tiger Lounge, man.
Yeah,
Neil, what happened to that guy? Well, I can talk about that.
Yeah, we used to play Flights a lot.
Flights was great,
which was never.
Poor R.I.P. Polecat's great.
That closed down.
Where's
so
he at?
Now Tony V's is kind of the main one in Everett.
Tony V's is great. Yeah,
and it's awesome.
Especially since
the old
expansion.
Z's.
Yeah.
We play at the Anchor. Yeah, we play all over, man.
Well, it's interesting. I'm feeling like the kind of rock, heavier sounds of what's going on in the Northwest is getting a lot of support from its community,
Yeah.
And it'll be interesting to see if it breaks out of the Northwest community or what will happen, because it's like, I don't know if it's just because I'm newly seeing it or what, or if it's just it's happened to be growing right at this moment as well as.
That's kind of what I feel like. It's just it seems like there's something going on.
It's finally hitting its stride. Is what's happening.
I don't necessarily know what it is, but
there's a lot of cool. What it is.
There's a lot of cool bands coming out.
What is it? I want to hear.
Well, a lot of the people that in these some of these seminal ones right now, especially, are people that have been doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
The same circles we've been in. I've been in bands with some of them and stuff in different incarnations, or we play with them in different formats over the years. And the people that are still playing now, that are about our age-ish and stuff, and they've been doing this whole time, they finally found their other pieces that they need to put together. Yeah. Like all the guys in like Substratum, they've been in a whole bunch of different bands since I was playing with them in like high school, and different, like back when it was Die by Day and different incarnations and stuff. And they all kind of found each other, and it's perfect now.
Yeah.
And our band too, we're a combination of several different bands, really, if you think about it that way.
Yeah.
A lot of them kind of are people that found their niche finally, or that have just persevered for this long, that are stubborn like us.
Yeah.
That's
you
why
gotta
we're
be
so
stubborn.
You gotta be stubborn. You know, we get protective of each other because, like, well, okay.
Well, I wonder too if it's a combination of that. That makes total sense. Like it's clicking, like you said earlier, like that idea.
We take care of each other now because no one's gonna help you except us. You know.
And then also there's an element of the kind of, I don't know, more media oriented thing that's going on in the Northwest doesn't really care about this scene right now. Yeah. They're like, oh, whatever. So it's like
that's what happened in the 90s, right?
And then the
late 80s.
And then the scene itself, like people in general, I think, like are becoming aware of. It's like there's this tide shift where it's like the internet has created this thing where people don't go out and as much, but I think this scene is aware of that and going, fuck that.
Right.
Let's go out and discover
Let's
and
go
support.
Out and see these
like a reaction.
kick-ass bands. Yeah.
Because I'm hearing that idea from others in this scene, and it's like this perfect cross section of things that are happening. Now it's just a matter of we have a base. Now how can we just launch this thing? You know. So, and hopefully I'm helping a little bit maybe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely, dude.
This kind of makes sense.
Podcast number of this? You've been doing a lot of these. You're 100 and
this one I don't know. Oh, this one will be like almost 150, like 140 something.
That's a lot. That's a lot of creative.
There's a lot of people with
media basically to put out there, re-exposure.
It's super fun. I love it. I love my favorite part. I mean, like, well, this right here, I didn't mention at the top. This is what I call a blind date podcast. Yeah, because we've never met before.
Oh no,
right?
Yeah, and it's like we've only done a little bit of online chatting, but.
Yeah.
But now it's like this.
We met on Tinder.
We're on our date now. Yeah.
We were talking about making a band profile for Tinder just as a joke a long time ago. I still think that'd be funny.
Well, I just have
us all on there like, hi.
I mean, somebody's got to hack that whole concept and try to, because it's like it's just another social media platform.
Yeah.
So it's like
drinking buddies called Bender.
Yeah. But it's cool. But earlier, like at the very beginning of the conversation, we're kind of leading up to this idea of, when I mentioned that whole take over the world spectrum on the end of the spectrum, and it's like, that's what we want to do. So like, what are some of the what are some of the goals you want to do now? Like, obviously the next recording is important.
Right.
Is there anything else that the band has talked about, as in like, what's the strategy, or if any, around how can we do more with this?
Well, so like after this record,
we'll
release it and play it for a little bit, and then working on like a concept album.
Okay.
So we're gonna do that.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna get right back at it.
I mean, we've already played a couple songs from that album live, even just 'cause I'm so excited.
Yeah,
playing songs 2 albums ahead. And shit.
we get way ahead of ourselves.
Yeah. We're good at that. We're pretty good at doing it without tripping over ourselves, though. So for the most part. Except me.
Yeah, except you, yeah.
Hey, where's Jake, man? Come on.
That's true. It's true. Where were we?
That's cool. Concept album and just ideas.
I'm sure he can relate
to me. Chugging along, man. Like, I'm at that point in my life where I don't really give a shit what anybody thinks.
Yeah.
I'm going to play what I want to play and do whatever the hell I want. And
no fucks.
Yeah, right. I mean, this is what we do now.
That's how I stay creative musically.
Yeah,
otherwise, if you just kind of lock yourself into something, you're not gonna come up with stuff that's that good. I feel like.
Yeah.
So
I hear you.
Keep your nose to grindstone.
Yeah.
I mean,
just keep trucking.
What about getting the word out? Like, obviously, albums help get the word out.
Right.
But you have to do more than that.
I mean,
like, what do you want to do to get the word out?
We're building awesome relationships with all of our friends' bands.
Yeah.
And we go play these awesome shows. And I feel like that's just going to build.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just going to get better.
Yeah, we get
put our name
grassroots
out there more.
Yeah.
So the plan is to play bigger and bigger shows.
Yeah.
We're not really sure how to get there.
Oh, okay.
So this is how we're going about it.
Yeah. So. That's cool. Do you any conversation around just getting out of the state?
Oh yeah, we're trying to work on some tours and stuff. Trying to
work on little tours. I mean, we have jobs and stuff. So
we all work 40 plus hours a week.
For our places to live and whatnot.
Yeah.
So,
luckily, things are able to spread a little easier in the modern era. With the internet and stuff.
Yeah.
So, even if we get out of town, probably be only a couple of places and then come home because we got like maybe take a week off of work or something if we can. But
do weekend warrior trips.
Yeah.
But I think Hunter can relate to me. Really, the underlying thing is just we have things that we want to express, and they're going to last forever. And once you make an album, make these things, and make songs, they don't go away.
Want the world to hear the music,
and you want to share it with as many people as you possibly can. And I think that comes across with everybody that you can tell is really in it for the long haul. This is what we do. I've been playing music since I was 12. I've been playing music longer than I haven't.
Since I got a guitar and didn't know how to play it.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah. Putting it in that perspective is like, that's me too.
Yeah, this is like what I don't,
crazy.
It's not like there's, I still work and do all this other stuff and we have other talents and pursuits, but this is pretty much
number one.
It's who he is. It's who Jake is. It's who everybody that we play with generally is,
Pretty much putting it all out there when we're playing, so.
And that honestness and earnesty, I think people react to and identify with. What'd you say?
Well, this is leading into an idea that I really like to explore. Is this because this is what we do, this is what we love to do, and sometimes it's not the easiest thing to do in our culture because it's a the arts is something that's just different sometimes,
right.
And
woefully undervalued.
And in that idea, we kind of touched on it already with the label support, like somebody coming up to you and saying, let's get you on this label, let's help you out, let's do some more stuff. Who else or what has in your career as a musician, as an artist, as a person, like supported you through this process, or a person or idea that's helped you keep going? Like
all of our parents,
first
and foremost,
parents, friends, and friends that become family, and just I don't know. We've had this hype lately. Like we got KISW. They always rep us, and
dude. Taryn is great. She's
Taryn and
local
Matt and
radio hosts, Taryn Daly, and she's from up here too, and she went to high school with Jake, or Jake went to high school with her sister or something.
She went to high school with Billy.
And Billy over here, And so there's just like deep roots in this area.
Yeah, they promote the hell out of us. But our parents, like my parents, have been super supportive of this. And they've seen me grind at it for a long time. So
I mean, our practice space is a shed that him and his dad built. And we still practice there behind his dad's house.
Practice space.
We love you, Jim.
That's cool. Where we practice still.
Awesome.
So it's just got to keep on trucking, man. I keep saying that.
Yeah, I mean, this music is the one thing throughout my life that other people have said that they like me doing, and they like me when I'm doing it.
I just said a while ago that,
and him too. I'm sure
this is what I want to do. This is what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life. So until I drop over dead,
till the wheels fall off the motor.
But
like I said, stubborn. We should call ourselves Stubborn Core.
Yeah,
we're a Stubborn Core band. It's not Southern Rock. It's Stubborn Rock.
Stubborn Rock.
What do you want somebody to know? Like if somebody came up to you and wanted to, not so much of like I already asked the kind of what does it sound like question, but if somebody came up to you and like, what is Woodshed all about? Like, what do you want them to know? Like, what do you want them to come away with? What would be the thing that you like? They heard a show, you played live, and then you finished the show, and it's like, what in your heart or whatever in your mind are you hoping that they come away with?
Just the enjoyment. And maybe they heard something in the song that helped them through something or but
what I've always seen from his lyric, like for what Hunter's mind pictures he'll paint with his words, or just like mind
pictures,
but
definitely like what hopefully help people.
And we're all in this together. We're all kind of fucked up, every single one of us is, and we all have these bizarre thoughts and things that happen in occurrences, but there's only one people really. You just gotta keep kind of
But also, I write music for myself, so fuck everybody. No,
Yeah.
That's the balance, right? Insular and
there's that stubborn thing again. Damn it.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's the best. I don't know. I write music for myself and about myself a lot, and I think that's a good place to write from, because it's like you'd be surprised how often people relate to the things that you think is so individual.
Right. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And yeah, most of the stuff I'm singing about is just my experience, you know, like what I think and my experience. So when people relate to that or whatever they pick up from that, that's cool. That's really cool feeling. Like, oh, that's sweet. You know, like
cool.
Yeah, you gotta write music for yourself sometimes.
Right,
I mean, you can't
I
love anybody else.
love
if you
seeing
love
people
yourself
rock
anyway.
out too, like, and just get into it, even when they don't think they're going to, you know, and all of a sudden they're headbanging or whatever, and it's just really cool to watch.
Our culture lacks community in a lot of ways, and music is one of the last bastions of developing that kind of community with people that you don't know and stuff. You know?
Well, community, that's a whole nother podcast. But like the idea of what is community anymore and how it manifests and stuff. I'm kind of all in on the online thing. Like, I believe that is a vehicle to create community.
The collective hive mind.
More than right. Well,
that's the Library of Alexandria now. You know, is the internet, the collective knowledge of mankind. You know, for all the horrible, weird, and stupid, and intelligent, everything.
I mean, another thing with music is I've met so many people. That I hang out with once in a while, and that are just really cool. I've met a ton of people through it.
I met a ton of my best friends.
You know?
Yeah, totally.
Same here.
People that have helped me in my life, you know, outside in the real world, outside of the.
It's definitely it's definitely an escape for me. It's a way to get all the shit out that is building up in my head, because I don't know. I just bottle things up and think about everything, and
get lost when you
go crazy and write it all down and screaming in a microphone.
Yeah, totally. I get it, man. I get it. You're in mutual. Was it mutual company? I don't think that's the right word to say, but anyway.
Preaching the choir, man.
Yeah, kind of. It's like I get it.
We are the choir, all of us.
I get it. Well, it's like we pretty much made it to the end.
That's good. I feel like an idiot.
Get out.
But so I thank you guys for being a part of this. Like we were just saying, making new friends and all that stuff. It's like I feel like I made a couple new friends.
Yeah, dude, you're awesome.
I love I love making friends with.
We're fans of the Zim.
Oh, cool. Thanks, man.
Yeah, this is cool, man.
Thanks a lot.
I want to come see your band when you're playing.
I would love it.
Yeah, what's the name of your band?
You played right next to the High Dive. What's that place called?
Next to the High Dive?
Yeah, didn't you play at like Nectar or something?
Well, we played everywhere, but
yeah. I just made it in Fremont somewhere. There's a show not that long ago I was trying to go to.
Well, we just played. Well, at the recording this, we played on Sunday at the High Dive.
Did you play this Sunday?
The last Sunday. We already played, but whatever.
Yeah, that's the one I missed.
Yeah. No,
there we go.
The Zim and A-Rock is the name of my band.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. Super fun. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
I remember seeing.
You play drums, right?
No, that's that one. No, I play guitar and sing.
You play guitar and sing that one.
Yeah.
Nice.
I do the other stuff, and A-Rock does the drummer.
That's right.
Yeah. It's cool.
I'm kind of like a rock and roll blender up here. At this point,
totally.
So forgive me.
His
forgive me
brain's
for my
a little
sins.
Scrambled.
Don't talk shit over there, Mr. Jim Beam.
Is there anything you want to tell anybody right now on this podcast about anything particular to your band or anything as we close it out?
Yeah, check us out. Like us on Facebook. It's not stupid, but that's political currency in this world.
You got to do it.
You know,
it's important.
If you don't like our band, don't like it, and tell us, and then we'll be fine with that too.
Tell us to F off.
It's okay to be wrong, man.
That's fine.
Yeah. Cool.
Come to a show.
We'll
it'll make
say
more
it
sense.
right back to you.
Yeah.
Well, definitely for
come to a show. It'll make more sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hang out with us and drink beer or whatever you do.
Yeah. Well, I'll personally either come to a show or book you on one of our. We can do a show together.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Let's make that happen. Let's drop in the song to close it out. What do we want to do?
Do you want to do?
Let's do Squatch.
Squatch, or do you want to do The View?
Huh?
You can say
it's Autumn's vote.
Or we could do the self-titled track, Hands in the Sky.
Oh yeah. There you go.
She's a mime. She's all hands in the sky.
I guess that's a good call.
Hands in the sky. Okay,
it's kind of long.
That's all right. It could be any length. It doesn't matter.
It's exactly as long as it needs to be, though.
Yeah, perfect.
It is.
I love that. As is everything.
It's an internal trilogy.
Cool. Well, all right. I guess thank you guys again.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, man.
Seriously.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thanks for coming up and
You bet.
hanging out in the house with me.
Yeah, no problem. No
All
problem.
of you, though, right?
Let's drop in Hands in the Sky off of Hands in the Sky by Woodshed. And remember to party at the Moon Tower.
Take a good look at this world as we take up all the space. Seems no one even cares. But you caught up in the race. Oh, you make me sick. This is not how it's supposed to be. Full of disrespect for the home under your feet. Who else is there to blame? It's all on the human race, taking all we can, never wanting to replace. So how long do you think we'll last? At the rate we're going, burning up so fast in our own black cauldron.
What's up? We made it to the end of another version of Word on the Street. Thanks a lot for joining. This was version 148 of the podcast. If you want to continue this adventure we're on with the podcast, one of the best ways to do it is to go to YouTube, youtube.com/thezimvideo. I have a channel over there that I just told you that I do a video journal every week, and I talk a little bit more behind the scenes of the podcast and other things that have come up in my musical and artistic journey and life things. If you're interested in getting to know me a little bit more and the Seattle music scene and everything that I'm working on, that'd be an awesome place to do it. Go over there, subscribe to the channel, where it's every day I get more subscribers because I've been doing Lyft videos. I drive for Lyft as my job, my day job, and I've been making videos about my experience driving for Lyft, and because of that, I've just been racking up subscribers. So, well, racking up is a loosely used term for me, but I'll be getting more subscribers and getting more videos that are getting more views and things like that, so I'm pretty excited about it. So if you want to join the party over on YouTube, please do. Like I said, youtube.com/thezimvideo. All right, that's all I'm going to say for today. I'll catch up with you again next week. Peace.